Hey guys, doing another video from the car here. Just out doing some door dashing and thought I'd take a little pause. Today I have the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This is some exclusive MGE maybe, I can't remember, but with the teal G10 handle scales and the S90V blade. This is the coated version. They also have an uncoated version. I think the uncoated, those are still available, I believe, at least last I checked. These are not. I picked this up about a year ago on Thanksgiving. They had a really good Black Friday deal on them. I don't know why these don't sell more readily. The uncoated, the version with the uncoated blade runs like $165, which for what you're getting here is pretty cheap. I mean, a base Paramilitary 2 and S45 VN now is like, I'd have to double check, but I think those are around 170 or 180. Anyway, so I added this little G10, or not G10, 3D printed backspacer here, and then the deep carry clip. Otherwise, it's completely stock. I did have some Rips Garage Tech, I think they were brass scales on this, and a Timascus clip, but for some reason the right scale in the set caused this to go off center every single time. I mean, it's not perfectly centered now, but it's better than it was, and it was driving me absolutely nuts. So I changed them out last night, and it's been better, and I'm glad that I went back to the G10. The brass is nice, but it makes for a really heavy knife. The Paramilitary 2 is a really iconic design, probably Spyderco's most popular, and maybe their best. These come in all kinds of steels, S90V, like this one. The base one's S45VN. You can get them in M390. They have new ones now in Maximet. All different kinds of scales. I mean, tons of aftermarket options. You can even buy one from Blades We Love with a button, so it's kind of like a button lock knife, except it still has the compression lock mechanism. There's just a button in the scale that releases that, so pretty cool. This one's not as smooth maybe as some that you've seen. I have it that way for a reason. I want it to be as centered as possible with minimal blade play, with some level of smoothness. I'm trying to balance it. If I loosen the pivot a little bit, it would be just drop shut smooth. So yeah, you can get these really smooth. There is definitely a balance though, especially with Spyderco knives. It seems like these in the militaries, you really have to get the sweet spot of like pivot tightness, and even this screw here by the stop pin, I mean, that affects it. You really have to tune these things, but they can be really smooth if you get them right. So yeah, I mean, there have been a million reviews done on these things. It's a great knife. I would always recommend these. They are getting a little bit expensive. I would recommend going for the S90V with the teal scales like this one, except without the coated blade, at like $165. That's an awesome deal. The Maximet ones are like $235 or something. Maximet's, supposedly a great steel. I wouldn't pay that. I wouldn't pay, what was that, $70 more for Maximet over S90V. It's just not worth it. Deep carry clip, I would highly recommend that. Spyderco's spoon clip is fine, but Lynch makes awesome deep carry clips for these, and I have these on pretty much all of my knives. So the one thing you got to keep in mind if you're new to paramilitaries is this stupid lanyard tube right here. I appreciate that Spyderco wants these things to be functional. I appreciate that they have the four-way positioning for the pocket clip. You can see the screws there and here, and as part of that philosophy, they want to have the option for a lanyard on these knives. However, when you disassemble these, this stupid tube makes it very difficult because they're almost press fit into the scales. The best way I've found to get them out is to just insert something into the tube. Take the one scale off if you can, insert something into the tube and kind of wiggle it back and forth. I was able to dislodge mine from the brass scales last night with a pen, So just find something that won't scratch the tube and that won't bend it. I've seen guys talk about pliers. I wouldn't recommend that because they can really like crush the tube. I did that with a Mannix one time. I almost crushed the thing to where it wasn't usable. But yeah, just a really great knife. This is what I'll be carrying for the next few days. Just trying to make it a little bit smoother. And yeah, it's an icon in the knife industry. So if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to go back to door dashing. We'll talk to you later.